Hello, and welcome to After Effects Tech Desk. Today we're going to continue our series comparing Illustrator to After Effects in order to help those who know one program learn the other. Today I want to talk first about clipping masks in Illustrator and how to get the same effect over in After Effects. They work somewhat similarly, but there's a slight difference and a couple ways to do it in After Effects. So if we see we have a regular photo here, an Illustrator, if I was to look at the layers here, we can see that this version is using a clipping mask. If you're not too sure how you would do that in Illustrator, you would just draw a shape, any shape, and then select both items. And you can go to Object, Make Clipping Mask, or use Control 7 or whatever other keyboard shortcut you have set for that. And that will then create the mask. And that will then create the mask. In After Effects, there's a couple of different ways to do it. This purple layer shows the closest version of it, which is to add a mask to the layer. They don't call it a clipping mask, it's just called a mask in After Effects. And to do that, you use the shape tool up here on the menu. This is the same tool that if you were to not have anything selected, it would create a shape layer. But if I undo that and select the layer and draw a circle on, that creates the same kind of mask. It gets to be a little bit tricky if you're trying to reposition that photo in here. But if you've ever seen this tool up in the toolbar called the pan behind tool, that's what this is used for. If you grab the photo inside there, you can reposition within the mask. You cannot transform it any other way inside that mask, though. If you were to try and scale it up or rotate it, it would move the mask with it. So another way to do it in After Effects, I'll hide these other two, is to use a separate matte layer. And what that involves is having your mask on an entirely separate layer. And this allows you to move it independently within the mask without affecting it. And if you did want to affect it still, you could use parenting to connect this shape layer to the image or both to a null object. So just to show you how you would do this, if I bring back our original image and twirl down to see the masks, I will just remove that. You could also set different modes on this mask here. So if you wanted to subtract, or if you had multiple ones and you wanted to intersect them, you can do that there. Or you can even select a none so that the path is on there, but there's no actual masking happening. So if we wanted to mimic this setup with the separate layer, you would make sure nothing is clicked and go back up to your ellipse tool and do what we talked about a minute ago and create a separate layer. And then from here, you want to select this image layer and find the track matte column. And here's where you can assign another layer to be the matte. So in this case, I'll select one. You can also use the pick whip to select layers. And now these two are connected. And I'm going to remove the mask altogether on the original just so we don't get confused. And I'll make both these orange to also help with that. And now we have this separate. If you're not seeing this track mat column, you may need to switch toggle switches and modes down here, or you might need to click some of these to set that up. Alternatively, you can right click up here and pick something from columns, which I'll do to add the parenting so I can show you how you would connect this mat to the image so that if you wanted to scale one, you would also scale the other. So if you use this same pick whip system and drag it to there, you can see that this one is now parented. This mat layer is now parented to layer 2, which is the image. And if I were to hit S to pull up my scale and scrub that, you can see the mat is moving with it. Alternatively, you could do the same thing and make that the parent. It kind of just depends how you want to move things around. Or another popular method would be to go to Layer, New, create a null object, reposition that to where you want, and select both layers to make that the controller. And now you have the flexibility to do whatever it is that you want and be able to control anything. So if you wanted to scale that as a group, or if you wanted to scale that, you have that control. I hope you found this comparison useful. If you did, please like this video and be sure to subscribe for more videos aimed at helping you learn how to master After Effects.